All right, so we'll walk you through the August DISD board briefing recap. So all of the trustees were in attendance this briefing. The topics discussed were superintendent's report on safety and House Bill 3, vision and progress monitoring, an update to the student code of conduct, and the district's interlocal agreement with Texas Can Academies. So for superintendent's report and House Bill 3, so House Bill 3 is a mandate from the state that each campus must have an armed security officer during regular school hours. One of the things that the superintendent discussed was what qualifies as an armed security officer. So you can kind of see three of the different variations available to the district. So the first is a school district peace officer. This is a district employee that's licensed by the Texas Commission on Law Enforcement. They have the same authority as a City of Dallas police officer. It's basically what's commonly referred to as like the police officer that's on campus. The second option is a school resource officer. Superintendent wanted kind of to make sure that the nomenclature was correct when it comes to these descriptions. Commonly, people refer to any officer on campus as a school resource officer in the past, but a school resource officer is actually a commissioned peace officer employed by a local municipality, such as the City of Dallas. They're assigned to the district through a MOU. They have the same training as a peace officer. For this House Bill 3, the district doesn't really have the ability to engage in an MOU with the City of Dallas, and that's just because there are workforce limitations. There aren't enough commissioned peace officers to be employed by the local municipality and available to DISD. The third option is a commissioned peace officer employed as security personnel. So this can be an off-duty peace officer. The one barrier to that is that those peace officers, if they were to work, overtime, off-duty hours with DISD, they would not receive time and a half or overtime pay. They would just receive the same salary as a school district peace officer. So it's not really beneficial to them. There are also restriction caps on the hours that those off-duty commissioned peace officers can work. So that's one limitation. The other option is a security services contractor. So basically a privately contracted security officer that's known as a level 3 security officer. So the second bullet, if the district is unable to comply, they can claim a good cause exception if there is a lack of funding. So each campus will receive $15,000 to assist in funding of this, which would be about $3.6 million for DISD. They can also qualify for that good cause exception if there's just a lack of available personnel who can fill these positions of an armed security officer on each campus. One of the things that the district wanted to state was that only peace officers can perform routine law enforcement officer duties, such as making arrests. So level 3 officers aren't able to do that unless it's in response to an emergency. Also, those level 3 officers need to meet a psych evaluation as well as pass a background check through the National Crime Information Center and the Texas Crime Information Center. Some additional best practices for any training for armed security officers are de-escalation training, active shooter training, school-based law enforcement, and physical exam, mostly just vision and hearing. The big kind of takeaway that the district wanted to be known was that even with the $15,000 per campus from the state, the district will still need to invest in an additional $8 to $9 million in fulfilling this mandate. This kind of came about in Trustee Mitch Kay's questioning. He wanted to know, the state funding. So it's $3.6 million, but the district anticipates $12 million to be able to cover the cost of essentially a full-time employee at every campus. Additionally, the safety allotment from the state is $10 per student. Previously, it was $9.72. Trustee Johnson asked about the budget for the entire DISD police department. They said that they would put that in the tracker. Trustee Mackey wanted to know, commissioned peace officer is the same as a level 3 security officer. So a level 3 security officer can be a commissioned peace officer, or it can be an off-duty peace officer. And Trustee Henry wanted to know if these are annual costs. So yes, they would be ongoing recurring costs. Every year it would be, $12 million anticipated costs. So the overall personnel budget will increase. The second report from the district was on vision progress monitoring. This was related to map data for first and second graders from the end of last year. So the first goal progress measure was related to second grade African-American students scoring at or above grade level for reading on the end of year map exam. The target for the district was 30% of students would hit that at grade level, and they exceeded that. So that's why this is in green. The district said that they were on target at 33.7%. The second goal is similar, but it is for first grade African-American students in reading end of year map scores. So the target for the district was 27%. They exceeded that 28.8%. So the district said that they were again on track. They also shared the disaggregated data for student groups for both second grade and first grade, really to show the gap between African-American students and all other students. So they wanted to show that the gap has decreased. In 2021, it was a 12% gap, is decreased by 3 percentage points to 9% for second graders. For first graders, the gap has remained the same at 13% in reading. They also share the same data, but for math scores. So for GPM 3.2, which was second grade African-American students scoring at or above grade level in math, the target was 25%. They exceeded that at 26.9%. So the district said that they were on track. The bottom results are for first grade African-American students scoring at or above grade level for math. The target was 29%. The district exceeded that, 33.7%. So they said that they're again on track. Again, they showed the disaggregated data for student group and the gap present between African-American students in comparison to all other students. So for second graders, the gap decreased from 15% to 11%. And for first graders, the gap decreased from 9% to 8%. They also wanted to show the cohorts for students. So for reading, if you want to kind of take an example for the current year or the 2021 second graders, when you look at them in comparison to 2022 when they were in third grade, 10% more of those students achieved 50 percentile or above. So basically showing the growth for the same group of students by grade level. For math, it was a dramatic increase for second graders in 2021 who became third graders in 2022. 20% more of them were at that 50th percentile or above. So they grew by 20% from 18% to 38%. The district also shared data on constraint progress measures. The first one was related to the percentage of positive responses on the student climate survey. So the district was on track with this goal. They increased from last year the percentage of positive responses from 69.4% to 70.3%. The second constraint was related to the percent of positive responses from principals on their climate survey. And again, the district was on track. They increased from 85.9% to 87.2%. The last constraint was related to the gap between African-American and emergent bilingual students together when compared to other students enrolled in rigorous coursework. So we want the gap to decrease, which is why the district is on target, because the gap decreased from 8.9% to 7.7%. And rigorous coursework was defined as AP, IB, honors classes, dual credit, and CTE courses approved by the CTE department. Also, this data is just for students in 9th to 12th grade. And they also shared the disaggregated data for both student groups. So just African-American students and emergent bilinguals, as well as the two combined at the bottom. Strategic adjustments for reading and math are going to be evidence-based literacy and math curriculum that's available district-wide, expanding the early learning specialists and reading interventionists to second and third graders at identified campuses with the most need, and also placing demo teachers with those students with the highest need. For the constraints, strategic staffing to increase positive student interactions, Also streamlining the number of autonomies from 30 to 16 and supports from 47 to 35 in the District of Innovation. They said that the number of autonomies in sports were too many to be make sense for principals. So that's why they reduced the number. They're also going to be launching AP University. So they identified 9 AP courses that would be offered virtually throughout the district. And that's to ensure equity. So if a student is at a campus that doesn't have a certain AP course, they may be able to take that class virtually. And also coherent programs of study at all high school campuses. This means that for specifically more CTE based classes. So for example, if a student is in culinary, they can take culinary in all 9th grade through 12th grade with no gaps in instruction because, the course isn't available at their campus. So ensuring that all of those are available at all the campuses. So in the discussion, Trustee Foreman said that the data for emergent bilingual and African-American students needs to be disaggregated for all data. Also, students should be able to receive certifications and dual credit from neighborhood schools, not just career institutes or magnet and P-Tech campuses. Trustee Mackey asked, for 3rd grade math, there was a strong growth from 2nd grade to 3rd grade. So what was the cause of that? He said strong instruction, piloted curriculum, placing highly qualified teachers in front of students with the greatest need. He also wanted to know how our additional reading interventionists allocated. So reading interventionists are at all elementary schools except the iLearn virtual campus. Trustee Mitchke wanted to see how much the district has recovered since pre-COVID because the only data that was presented for the reading and math scores was after 2020. So he wanted to see if the district has recovered. Also wanted to see the percentage of neutral and negative climate survey responses from students specifically on discipline to see if those non-positive responses are actually negative or just neutral. Trustee Henry wanted to just say that they might need to reevaluate the goals to continue making progress and moving forward, basically wondering we should raise the goals. And he was also interested to see if this year's beginning year map data, if that progress would remain the same or if students might experience some summer slide. For the student code of conduct update, so they had to amend the policy to reflect changes made by House Bill 114, which pertain to e-cigarette possession, use, and delivery, as well as vaping. So because of this mandate, e-cigarette and vaping results in mandatory DAEP placement. If DAEP is full, the district can utilize reset centers, alternative placements on other campuses, or project safe space. Trustee Johnson just had some logistical questions. So for this, if a student's caught vaping, they would be placed in DAEP for 15 days. If they're caught vaping again, they would be placed there for 20 days. And if caught a 3rd time, the school and principal would kind of have to reevaluate and see if Texas Can might be a better option, which we'll discuss later after these slides. Trustee White just wanted to know what additional services are available because there will be off campus. So they repurposed some mental health staff to support as drug counselors. They will also work with families to see if students need more intensive additional rehabilitation. Trustee Weinberg wanted to know how many students were actually caught vaping last year and would have been sent to DAEP. So 317 students in total. And then there is a breakdown by grade level. Trustee Mitchke wanted to know how the district ensures that those students who are removed from campus don't fall too far behind. So students still attend school in DAEP and they utilize a district-wide curriculum. And Trustee Foreman also said that there are master teachers at DAEP. They just need to ensure that standards are upheld when it comes to academics. The district also shared their interlocal agreement with Texas Can. So this is a referral program that can effectively identify students who need significant credit recovery and may also face multiple disciplinary referrals. Trustee Foreman and Trustee Henry just wanted to make sure that the data sharing agreement was solidified with Texas Can to protect student confidentiality. And then a lot of the information about this was kind of teased out with Trustee White's questioning. So basically when will students be referred to Texas Can? So as a public school, the district doesn't have the ability to completely separate from students. So in the rare case of expulsion, those students, they have contracted services with the juvenile system. So this partnership is really for students who are overage, undercredited, and have had discipline issues. Currently, those students can have opportunities at Grad Lab, Reconnect, and Night School. So the district will continue to utilize those opportunities first. But if those opportunities don't work, students will then have the opportunity to recover credits at Texas Can and potentially rejoin DISD after they recover credits to then graduate. So the district really framed it as an opportunity to keep partnership with those students who attend Texas Can and ultimately prevent students from just completely dropping out. So that was the board briefing for September. And yeah.